The crunch from double frying this chicken is irresistible. It's crispy, shredded chicken, takeaway style. I'm Jeremy from School of Wok here in Covent Garden, London's Asian cookery school. I can't wait to show you this. It's so easy. It's kind of like making a sweet and sour. First thing you want to do is shred your chicken. Nice thin strips. I like to use chicken thigh because it's got that nice flavour to it. Next up, wash your hands and then straight onto a whole load of garlic and spring onion. Nice and finely chopped. I like a lot of spring onion for this because it kind of just sort of, you know, weaves in and out of the crispy chicken. Basted garlic and spring onion all chopped up, ready to go. I'm just going to marinate the chicken now, and this really is very similar to a crispy chili beef. Got my shredded chicken, a good pinch of white pepper, about a tablespoon or so of light soy, a drizzle of sesame oil, and a pinch of sugar, because we believe that everything has its own sweetness and you're trying to accentuate that sweetness. Give that a good massage through. One hand clean on the bowl, the other hand doing the work. And then for a nice light but super crispy batter, just the egg white to wrap around that marinated meat. Get that well wrapped around all those shreds of chicken thigh. And then, much like my technique for sweet and sour, or crispy chili beef, crispy squid, lots of corn flour, cornstarch for those over the pond. And that is the foolproof way, once you mix it through, to get this sort of dry, dusty white consistency around every piece of meat. You do want to make sure that each piece separates out nicely, so just run your fingertips through it. Don't sort of over squeeze, but make sure that they separate out nicely. And I'll show you in a second what I mean. You can see now each piece nice and separate and dusty white in texture. That is going to crisp up really well. This sauce is kind of more like a quick syrup or glaze. I've got juice of about half a lemon here, and for some saltiness, a couple of spoons of light soy, 2 good spoons of honey to create that glaze. Give that a little mix through, just melt that honey in. Of course, when it hits the wok, it's going to caramelize very quickly. I quite like a little dash of dark soy sauce to deepen that syrup color. And as I say, that will caramelize extremely quickly and then wrap around that shredded crispy chicken. So I've got my oil heated up, first off in a high heat, and then I've just brought it down to medium temperature because I know that it's hot enough for the first fry. I'm going to double fry these shreds of chicken. Anything wooden, like wooden chopsticks or bamboo skewers, end of a wooden spoon, should fizz when it hits the right temperature, around 180 degrees C. Just go carefully sort of laying that chicken into the oil like so. I'll probably do this in 2 batches just so I don't overload the oil and wok and lose that heat that I want to crisp the chicken up really well. So the first fry on a medium heat, you're talking sort of a couple of minutes, and when you hear that fizz become less vigorous, then you want to take them out, and you'll get this slightly, it's still a little bit powdery on the outside, which is why the second fry gets it even crispier. Nice and hot oil, and all this can go straight back in for your second fry. And this will happen pretty quickly, and you'll hear that sort of fizzing or that bubbling just slow down. And when it does start to slow down, your chicken pieces should be going really nice and golden brown. You're kind of losing any excess moisture inside the chicken out into the oil on that initial fry. You should see the chicken pieces just sort of all wanting to float and get to the top of that oil. At that point, you know it's going to be really nice and crispy. Look at that. From here on in, it's all about the wokking. High heat, a very little bit of oil, just to swirl around your wok. Smoking hot, spring onion and garlic in. Give that a quick flick through. You don't want to burn that garlic, just searing that spring onion really. Sauce or glaze, go straight into that hot oil. Bring it to a vigorous boil. You want to make sure that it's bubbling all the way through to the center before you then start to move it around. And what I'm looking for is a slightly more syrupy consistency than where it's at now. Got a nice sort of sticky edge to this sauce. Chicken in, and then a good flick through like so to get all that syrupy sauce around the chicken. Whilst it's still hot and crispy, you want to serve that straight up. Oh, that sticky garlic and spring onion out of the wok too. My crispy shredded chicken. Delicious. With a slight tang. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, ding! Hit that notification bell for more crispy stuff.